Jealousy in boys isn't just about insecurity, it's a mirror into their deepest emotional needs, fears, and attachment patterns. If you've ever wondered why he gets distant, possessive, or suddenly cold, psychology has an answer, and it's more complex than you think. Have you ever felt like he pulls away the moment you talk to someone else, or acts cold when you're shining a little too brightly? That silent tension, the shift in his tone, the quick glance that lingers a little too long, it's not always about you. Sometimes it's about what love triggers in him. Let's talk about jealousy. Not the dramatic, toxic kind often glamorized in movies, but the quiet, emotionally loaded kind that shows up in real relationships, especially in boys who are still learning how to love with maturity. 1. Jealousy often comes from unhealed wounds. For many boys, jealousy isn't about control. It's about protection, often of a wounded ego, a fragile identity, or childhood abandonment they never talk about. Maybe he grew up in a home where love felt inconsistent, or perhaps he was always competing for attention, for validation, for safety. So when he finally connects with someone deeply like you, his inner child whispers, "Don't lose this. It's too good to be true." He doesn't always mean to get jealous, but the fear of losing love feels louder than his logic. 2. Male social conditioning makes it worse. From a young age, boys are taught to associate love with ownership, not openness. Be the man. Protect what's yours. Don't let another guy win. So instead of vulnerability, they express fear through control. Instead of saying, "I'm scared to lose you," they say, "Who were you texting?" Or "Why didn't you call back?" Not because they're bad, but because culture has taught them that softness equals weakness. 3. Jealousy can also be a sign of emotional investment. Surprisingly, jealousy isn't always a red flag. Sometimes it's a sign that he cares deeply, but lacks the tools to express it healthily. He feels something precious is at stake, but doesn't yet know how to communicate his longing without making you feel caged. He doesn't want to lose you, but if he hasn't built inner security, he might try to control you instead of connect with you. 4. The healthier boy will reflect, not react. The difference between immature and emotionally intelligent jealousy lies in what he does with it. An immature boy will blame you. A mature one will ask himself, "Why did that bother me so much? What am I afraid of? Is this about her or something inside me?" Growth begins the moment he questions the jealousy, not when he acts on it. 5. What this means for you. If you're someone who's healing, who's learning to love without losing yourself, you need to know this. His jealousy is not your fault. It's not your job to shrink, to tiptoe, or to constantly reassure. You deserve a love that breathes, that's grounded in trust, not silent suspicion, that celebrates your light rather than competes with it. If he's truly growing, he'll meet you there. If he's not ready, don't dim your light to fit into a wounded heart. Conclusion. Jealousy isn't always about control. Sometimes it's about fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing something beautiful. Fear of being vulnerable in a world that taught boys to stay guarded. So if a boy feels jealous, it doesn't always mean he's toxic. It might mean he's human, still learning, still healing, still figuring out how to love without letting fear take the wheel. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for managing someone else's inner wounds. Your love should not feel like a cage, and your worth should never depend on someone's unresolved insecurities. You deserve peace. You deserve a relationship that feels safe, not suspicious. One where your shine is embraced, not dimmed by quiet competition. And if you've ever dealt with jealousy from a partner or within yourself, take a deep breath. Be kind with your heart. These things take time to understand and unlearn. But the more we talk about it, the more we grow. So if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Tap the subscribe button if you want more content that speaks to the real side of love and healing. And most of all, stay rooted in your truth, because the right love will never make you question your light.